Hi guys, back with another video for you today. I've got a special guest here with me.
Hello.
It's Fabrice from Scents of Wood. You guys know the brand, right?
Hi everyone.
Plum and Cognac. So he's visiting San Francisco and I invited him over to the studio and I said, let's shoot a video and let's discuss some of the gourmands in the collection. So if you want to find out about them, stay tuned. But don't forget, we also have a giveaway. We have a giveaway of a, what is this?
It's a 3x 10 ml sampler.
And gourmand fragrances, right?
Yes. Well, actually it's a combination.
Yeah?
We can make it all about gourmands, or we can... Well, this one is a combination.
Okay.
It's a little boozy, it's a little gourmand.
Okay.
It's very pretty. nice combination of colors.
Yeah. So stay tuned to find out about Scents of Wood. Coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian. Yes, today we're talking about Scents of Wood, some of my favorite fragrances from the collection that we're going to discuss, especially a Plum and Cognac. And then we also have this yummy Patchouli and Rye. And you know, I love Patchouli. I absolutely love Patchouli. We'll see if that one kind of beats out Plum and Cognac, but I really like both of them. But since I have Fabrice here, I want you to explain to us how you got Scents of Wood started. Okay.
Well, I'm going to... Can we talk about where we are just for a second?
Sure, you can talk.
I've been doing conversations with fragrance influencers for a while now, but it's the first one that I do from their studio. And cool. I am more than impressed. I mean, you guys cannot see what I'm seeing, but there must be like, what, 3,000 bottles around us. It's absolutely, this collection is absolutely amazing. And Sebastian and I we started talking about scents. That we talked about Minotaur by Paloma Picasso.
Yeah.
We talked about Laura Biagiotti Roma. We talk about scents that probably...
You remembered, huh?
Uh-huh.
You wore them?
I wore them and I had not been smelling them for, I don't know, 26 years.
Yeah. And
you had them on your shelves and it was so cool. And most of you were not born by the time those fragrances came out. But
probably.
I don't know how young your audience is, but I mean, this is crazy. It's so fun to be here in the middle of so I can tell you, this man knows about fragrances. If he has all of this in his mind, it's absolutely incredibly impressive. So thank you very much for having me here.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. So tell us how you got started with Scents of Wood.
Well, the brand has been in existence since September 2020, so it's going to be 2 years in September. And
you launched at the height of the pandemic, I guess.
I did. But,
crazy times.
And it was not intentional to do a direct-to-consumer concept with this brand, but I think I lucked out because it would have been very difficult to find distribution in department stores and in perfumeries. Mm-hmm. So we are in San Francisco here, and the original reason why I'm here in San Francisco is to meet with a new partner, with the Ministry of Scent, a new perfumery that is going to be carrying Scents of Wood. I'm super excited by that, and I'm meeting with them tomorrow and training everyone as so.
That's awesome. So Ministry of Scent, if you guys don't know, used to be Tiger Lily Perfumery here. I know them as Tiger Lily Perfumery, but they just changed their name to Ministry of Scent. So yeah. Is that one of your first retail locations?
It's one of our very first retail locations. I think it's our 5th retail location in the US, and I'm very happy. I'm very proud to be working with them.
Cool.
It was definitely a target of mine since the very beginning. But mostly the brand, at the core, the brand is direct to consumer, and I imagined the brand to be direct to consumer because I wanted to do this subscription service, whereby we send a new scent to everyone who subscribes every month, and it's a new scent from a new perfumer, but under the umbrella concept of Scents of Wood, which is scents and candles. Inspired by forest and trees and aged in wooden barrels. So every single scent that we create, we age the alcohol in the wooden barrel, and we have a whole collection of wooden barrels, and then we choose the one formula alcohol that is the most appropriate to the scent, and that becomes the fragrance. So for instance, Plum in Cognac is a plum fragrance that has been, the alcohol has been aged in a cognac barrel, and Patchouli in Rye is a fragrance created around a patchouli note, and the alcohol has been aged in a rye barrel, in a rye whiskey barrel. Actually, this one is quite special.
So good.
It is good.
So good.
It's good. It's creation by Céline Barrel, and the rye barrel in question was gifted to us by a distillery called High West. That is based in Utah, where Essence of Wood is based as well, in Park City, and so we became friends, and they gave us a number of barrels, and that rye barrel had such an interesting woody profile, olfactive profile, that we used it. It went really, really well with the ambery notes and the vanilla of the back notes the base notes that are in Patchouli and rye, and so that's how we did it, and it's quite a beautiful scent. This one that you see here has a black cap and a charcoal jar, but everyone who purchases a fragrance at Sense of Wood can choose between different colors both of jars.
So you can customize it.
You can customize it, yeah. Which is something that only a direct-to-consumer distribution allows you to do, obviously.
So if I went to Ministry of Scent to buy these, they have just one color?
Yes, we choose together one color for each fragrance, and one color of cap and one color of ceramic.
So let me ask you, I got to thinking, okay, so how do you know patchouli and rye are going to work together?
So we don't in the beginning. Yeah, it's totally trial. So what we do is what I usually do is I anchor every single of our creations is anchored in a personal memory that the perfumer has of a tree or a forest or some type of a woody note that played a role in her life or his life. And so we discuss that memory, we talk about it at length, we compare memories if it's something that resonates with my personal childhood, my personal history. And then we start the fragrance from there. So basically there's no brief per se, it's an open conversation around a personal memory. And I think that's part of the reason why our fragrances resonate really well. It's because they're anchored in something really emotional like this. I keep being told by customers and by subscribers, what's amazing with Sense of Wood is that you keep coming with fragrances that have an amazing level of quality month after month after month. And I think that's the reason. I think it's because they're so personal to the perfumers, and so they develop the fragrance based on that. And then sometimes there's a little bit of back and forth, sometimes there isn't. And when we decide that the fragrance is done, that the creation is finished, then we choose a barrel.
Interesting.
And so what we do is we dilute the oils of that particular scent in all the alcohols that we have or that we think could be interesting, and also neutral alcohol as well, which is our organic sugarcane alcohol, but not aged. And then we compare. And so what it becomes is it's almost like one last ingredient in the palette of the perfumer.
I see. Where are the barrels stored, and how many are there for each perfume?
So there's only one barrel that is being used for each perfume.
Oh, okay.
And the barrels are stored in. So I work for all my fragrances. I work in exclusive collaboration with IFF, the fragrance house. Okay. And so they have their industrial operation in New York, in New Jersey actually, and that's where we have an entire room dedicated to our barrels.
Wow.
So they were really cool.
So they're not with you, they're with IFF.
No, they're with IFF. And when we retire the barrel, they send it to Utah and we use it in the workshop as decor.
Oh,
so we have 2 right now in our workshop, and we have, I don't know, like 10 or 12 at IFF. Yeah.
So have you covered all the liqueurs or the spirits out there?
Oh my God, no, we're just
I'm waiting for something like with arak or raki or licorice or, like pastis or something.
Well, as far as I know, and I would know because I come from Marseille where the pastis was born, you don't age pastis I don't know about ouzo, I don't know about arak, and I will definitely look into it now that you said that.
I love that stuff.
That being said, it's not only about, so there are 2 types of barrels that we use. There are the barrels that have a personal history. So like the rye barrel, right?
Yeah.
That particular barrel was used for 10 years to age rye whiskey. And then I also buy, for the collection, I also buy barrels that are brand new. So we have a relationship with a company called Séguin-Moreau in the south of France, and they are the biggest manufacturer of luxury barrel in France.
Okay.
And so they manufacture barrels for all the great wines of the Bordeaux region, and for a lot of spirits as well. And so they sometimes provide us with a barrel that is brand new. For instance, our acacia barrels are brand new. Our chestnut barrels are brand new. Okay. We have 2 types of oak barrels that are brand new. We have American oak and French oak barrels that are brand new. And then we have American oak barrels that have been used for bourbon. And the cognac barrel is also French oak, but it's been used for cognac, and so on, right? So we have those 2 types of barrels, the new ones and the vintage ones, if you will. Yeah.
So have you done any wine?
So we have a wine barrel that we just acquired.
Oh,
Well, it was gifted
okay.
to us actually,
Cool.
and we haven't used it.
Yeah,
We
okay.
haven't used it yet.
It doesn't come up a lot in fragrances, though, wine as a
No,
note.
although there is in South America, I think the biggest selling fragrance in South America is a fragrance called Malbec.
Yeah,
And it's
I have a bunch.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. I would be surprised if there were fragrances in the world that is not somewhere on the shelf.
Yeah.
And I think they didn't use a barrel for this, but they used a headspace of Malbec wine that was done in a barrel. Right. So there's a note there. Yeah.
So you're doing it. Remember, we did a Zoom video. You were mentioning you do a fragrance a month.
Yes.
Are you running out of ideas?
Never. No.
Never?
Oh my God. I really think. I mean, the world of woody notes is so vast.
It's very vast.
And the world of woody notes combined with wooden barrels, and the world of woody notes and robed with I mean, it's endless. I mean, I can do this for 100 years and I will not run out of ideas.
Okay.
And I can tell you this with certainty because I've had this conversation with just about every perfumer. The perfumers are very excited to work on something that is both so focused and so open. It's focused because it's all a celebration of woody notes.
Yep.
But it's open because there's no idea that I would not consider as long as it gets them excited and it smells good to me. And it doesn't even have to smell good to me. Every single collection, so I call a collection a year of fragrances, right? Every single collection, I always make a point. I'm saying always. I'm working on the third collection now, but for all those collections, for the 3 collections, I've made a point of putting on the market at some point a fragrance that I didn't like, personally.
Okay.
In the second collection,
You don't have to like them. Because
in-
somebody else is going to like them.
Well, in the second collection, it's even 2 fragrances that I didn't like in the beginning.
Oh.
In the first one, I can tell you which one it was Vetiver and Chestnut. I didn't like Vetiver and Chestnut in the beginning, and it was such a success. Everybody loves it. The reason why I'm doing this is because I'm only one person, and doesn't have to be, and not everything has to be a reflection of my taste. And 2, when I'm being told by the perfumer, by the evaluator, by my friends, by people around me, by that this is good, and I disagree, chances are I'm the one who is wrong, you know.
Okay.
And so I can make it a point. And Patchouli in rye.
It's so good.
Was going to be one of those.
I'm going to spray some.
And then I ended up falling in love with it. In the beginning, because I'm not, contrary to you, I'm not a big fan of patchouli. And that fragrance was such a back and forth between Céline and I ended up falling in love with it. It's such a beautiful, beautiful scent.
So you strictly work with IFF perfumers with
Yes.
scents of wood.
Yes.
And have you worked with every single IFF perfumer yet?
No.
How many are there? I mean, there's probably like hundreds, right?
So no. Fine fragrance perfumers. I think they probably have like somewhere between 30 and 40. I would say.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe they might have more, but
I think fine fragrance perfumers in the world, across all houses plus independents, plus those who work specifically for one house, there must be like somewhere between 100 and 150 of them. That's it.
That's it. Okay.
Less than presidents of countries.
Okay.
Yeah.
So will you ever work with an independent perfumer that's not affiliated with IFF? If somebody says, I really, really want to create a fragrance for you, and I don't work for IFF, will you do it, or?
There's two things to this. One, I'm very committed to this relationship because they're being so good to me.
Okay.
And they're so patient, and they provide me with. We create together one world-class fragrance every month. I mean, it's something that the fragrance house has never done, and so I'm very grateful for this. 2, where would I put the barrel? You know, and who, I mean, and it's not only the barrel;
That's
it's also
true.
the scientist who is going to put the alcohol in the barrel, who is going to follow up on the aging of the alcohol, who is going to remove the alcohol from the barrel and then put it in a drum and stabilize it there and make sure that it will be perfectly ready. I mean, it's not only a perfumer; it's a perfumer and a lab behind it, right? So independent perfumers typically don't have a lab in their garage.
Yeah,
right?
I have a place you can put it.
Yes, I mean, you see. So for those reasons, I don't believe so. But I haven't worked. I started with the first collection was created with 5 perfumers. The second one with 9, including the 5. The third one with 11. So I still have, I haven't worked with Dominique Ropion. I haven't worked with.
I've been waiting for that.
Yeah,
Are you working with Julian Rescanet?
On the third collection, I am.
Okay.
We did something really, really cool. It will be part of the...
Can you give us a hint?
It is a woody fragrance based on... It's a luxury fragrance based on an extremely mass market molecule.
Oh, okay.
Which mass market molecule has been devised, created, invented for something that has nothing to do with fragrance. I'm not gonna say more, but it's very,
Wow.
it's very interesting. It's super intriguing, and the
Okay.
result is extraordinary. I love working with Jean. It's awesome.
Cool.
So yeah.
So your plan is it a membership? You sign up and you get monthly billed, or is it like single?
No, it's so every single collection starts with a collector's box. Every single subscription lasts for a year, and they all start with a collector's box. And every year, the collector's box is a different object. So this year, it looks like this. It's a beautiful box, and inside of the box you have 3 scents, and those scents
Can
are
you guess I like this one?
yeah, that's the PRALINE maple. Those scents are presented as fragrances, as candles, and as leaves of incense in this box. And then there's a little map that explains the entire year in fragrance. So that's a collector's object that you receive first. And then every month after this, you receive a box like this one that has a new scent presented as a fragrance, as incense leaves in this little envelope, and as a candle. And you receive that 12 times, and then the subscription is over.
Okay.
Right?
So if I was going to your website, I can choose specific fragrances, and I could buy either a 10 ml or a bottle.
You can do that. Yeah, you can do that. So if you're a subscriber, you receive every month, you receive your new scent. If you fall in love with one of them, or if it so happens that you've smelled the fragrance that you want to buy, you can buy it as a 75 ml, like this, or you can buy a box like this with 3 cents as 10 ml.
And how much does this box go
This
for?
is $98.
98.
This is $240. And then the subscription is $44 a month. Except the first month when you receive the collector's box, which is $98. So, but it's $44 a month after that.
Cool.
So yeah, so that's the way it works.
And how many fragrances do you now have?
So we have, in the first collector's box, we had 5.
5.
Followed by 12.
12.
Of the first subscription, so that's 17. Then there's 3 that you saw in the collector's box, that's 20. And now we are at month 6 of the second collection, so we have launched 26 fragrances since the beginning of the brand.
Wow.
Yeah.
You have a large catalog now.
Yeah, we do. And we actually have, on our website, we have a mapping to help customers and subscribers alike to see where the fragrances fit compared to one another in terms of strength and in terms of olfactive territory. So we've been exploring obviously pure woods, and ouds, but also woody florals, woody fresh, woody ambery, woody boozy, woody green, woody gourmand, and we're going to start exploring woody synthetic as well.
Okay.
I have a passion for interesting fragrant molecules.
Okay.
I think they're not celebrated enough, and there's too much of a stigma around them. And so we're going to start doing a celebration of interesting woody molecules in some of our scents.
Interesting. Have you done any pine?
We have not yet, but we have one coming out in July.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's coming soon.
Yes, it's going to be called Pine in Acacia. It's a creation by Pascal Gorin. It's quite wonderful.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how many perfumers have you worked with so far from IFF?
9.
9.
Well, no, actually, no, because I'm done with so 11 altogether. Yeah.
11 altogether.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyone that you're dying to work with besides Dominique Ropion? You said you haven't worked
And
with him.
people, I would love to.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she did do a good job with Synthetic Jungle. I love that one. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
It's a great fragrance,
Yeah.
and a good example of what I was talking about. Yeah, so it's going to be. I'm excited about the future of the brand because the more the brand progresses and the more it grows, the more people hear about it, and then the perfumers hear about it, and then they have ideas, and because the brief stage is so open, it's all about them and their memories. Now it's quite frequent that a perfumer comes to me and say, well, here's something that happened to me that involved a tree or forest, and I was thinking maybe we could do a perfume about this, around this, and they're like, sure, this way, always, you know.
Have you done cedar?
Yes, we've done cedar. When our first, we've done a few cedars actually.
Okay.
We've done cedar and acacia, which is this beautiful cinder ginger accord by Pascal Gorin. We've done cedar in oak. Cedar is, and we've used the cedar wood as a note in many of our other fragrances. Cedar, sandalwood, oak. Those are notes that we keep playing and encountering throughout the line for sure. Yeah.
And have you done anything with tequila?
No, not yet, not yet. And that we might do something like that in the future.
Okay.
That we haven't. I don't have a barrel. It's completely virgin territory. Yeah.
Okay.
We've done something with Calvados.
Yes, appley.
Which is this one. Oud in Calvados, which is an oud apple chord.
Should we smell?
Yeah.
Okay.
We were smelling that together before we started. So the good thing about being here is that there's always benchmarks somewhere on your shelves.
Very appley.
Yeah, very, very, very happy.
It's boozy, and I was telling you it was a little candied. We were comparing it to another fragrance,
It's
which
also-
was more fresh apple. This one's definitely candied and boozy to me.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. And that's a creation by Natasha Cote, who also did the Praline Maple.
Okay.
And
Yum. This is good.
yeah. It sits next to Oud in Bourbon and Plum in Cognac in a woody boozy notes. Yeah.
Okay.
This is the Praline Maple that Natasha did, which is fast becoming our second bestseller after which was I was delighted that it was the case and a little bit surprised too. I mean, gourmand fragrances really have a following.
So good.
Oh yeah, this is really good.
You can smell the maple.
And the maple in there is interesting. It's actually this is actually an American oak barrel that was made. So the tree was felled and then the barrel was manufactured in Kentucky. They used it for bourbon for 10 years, and then this gentleman who ages his maple syrup in wooden barrels bought it and then aged his maple syrup for 3 years. After the 10 years of bourbon came 3 years of maple.
Wow.
And after that we've been aging our alcohol in this. So it's kind of like it's the third life of that barrel.
Oh wow. Amazing.
And last life of the barrel, because I will keep it for sure. After it loses its olfactive power, I will keep that barrel. I will cherish it somewhere in one of our workshops.
Yeah. And what's this other one in here?
And the last one here is Oud in Bourbon. So that's a coffee, oud coffee, ambery note, Pascal Gorin. It's very good.
Oh, coffee.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's a really nice.
But what's I think I was telling you, was there something minty in here? You said it was Artemisia, right?
Yes, absolutely. It was. Yeah.
It's really nice. Which one is this again? It's
Oud in Bourbon.
Oud in Bourbon.
This dark green color.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Pascal and I have had a great time working together on. He's the one perfumer that has created the most of our fragrances, and he's the perfumer who created Plum in Cognac and Plum in Cognac was the winner of the Fragrance Extraordinaire of the Year at the last Fragrance Foundation Awards.
Yeah.
Very well deserved, I think. Obviously,
it's really good. It's yummy.
Yeah, it's a delicious.
One of my favorites. But let's talk a little bit also about what is it? It's a Patchouli and rye.
Patchouli and rye, yeah.
Yeah, it's vanillic notes in there, right?
Yes, for sure. Yeah. Where it's a classic ambery structure there's a lot of patchouli. There's like 10% of patchouli, which is why you fall in love with it.
Yeah, it's good.
You're a patchouli lover.
But there's also pepper. I'm getting like peppery.
Pink pepper, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, pink pepper at the top. And there's a rose in there as well. There's a rose note. So there's a little bit of floral dimension to it. It's super sexy. It's really good. It's a very sensual fragrance. Of the ones that we've talked about today, is probably the one that is the most overtly sensual.
So that one's created by Celine Barrel.
That one's created by Celine Barrel, right? Yeah, that's right. Who is also the perfumer behind one of our other bestsellers, which is Oak in Oak, which is that pure oak note in an oak barrel. It's an ode to oak in all its splendor. She's very talented.
She's good, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then finally, let's talk about Plum in Cognac as well. Your winner.
Yeah, Plum in Cognac is our bestseller. It's a delicious.
It's fruity. It's boozy.
It's smoky.
Woody.
Yeah. It is this fragrance. It's interesting. We were reminiscing with Pascal the other day. We spoke. So we were we were doing exactly what I was telling you about. Pascal, what are your memory of trees? What is your personal forest? And then he went on to this, started telling me the story about those plum trees on the property of his grandfather, and how as a child he was always on them, eating from them, burning the branches at the end of the weekend sometimes, coming home with that smell on his shirt, and all those memories attached to that. And so we spoke about this for an hour, and then he told me recently, he went down to it was in the building at the FF, he went down to his office from the meeting room, he sat at his computer, he wrote down the formula in one go, he sent it to the lab, because that's how perfumers work today, right? They don't have the organs and they don't do their own blends anymore. He sent the formulas, he pressed enter, sent the formulas to the lab. 10 minutes later, something came, a little vial came.
Wow.
He smelt it and he said, that's it. This is great. I'm sending this to Fabrice.
Wow.
I received it, I smelled it, I was like, that's it.
Wow.
So, as far as I know, it's the only example of a fragrance that was created in one go by the perfumer that did not go under any modification on the perfumer level, none from anywhere else at IFF, and none from the client side.
Wow.
So he was like literally from the story to his mind to the computer to the bottle, done.
Down.
Yeah, yeah.
That's great.
And for those of you who don't have necessarily knowledge of how perfumes are developed, sometimes it takes 3 years. It takes like 300 versions of the same idea, it's back and forth internally at the perfumer's house, and then it gets to the client, and then there's more back and forth, and then more ideas. This one was like
instant. And it won.
And it won.
Wow, that's amazing.
Well, and I think there's a lesson there. You know, the closer you are to the original inspiration, sometimes the better things are.
Yeah. That's awesome. So what can we look forward in the future? You've mentioned a couple of things.
So the next fragrance coming out in our second collection that is going to be shipped to the subscribers as of what we're shipping right now is a fragrance called Bread and Chestnut. That is the work of
another gourmand.
Maeve McCartan. There is another gourmand, and it's absolutely, you're gonna love it. It's such a delight. It's so wholesome, so wonderfully comforting. It's beautiful. After this, it's going to be Vetiver in Bloom, which is a vetiver lilac accord that is very subtle, absolutely beautiful. Wow. After this, we have
vetiver and lilac.
Yeah, vetiver and lilac.
They work together? I love lilac. Wow.
Lilac is as you know, is a very, very hard note to work with in luxury perfumery. Yeah. It's kind of been co-opted by cleaning products, and so it's very hard to use it in a way that one really is a success. Wow. On that front. Then we're gonna have Leather in Armagnac, which is a leathery fragrance aged in an Armagnac barrel, absolutely beautiful. And after that, we get to Pine and Acacia that we were talking about before.
Oh, so anything else?
Well, I just want to thank you. I mean, it's such a delight to have seen your little den here. It's spectacular.
It's not finished yet, and it's taking forever, but I'm glad I was able to bring you in.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Anytime I know a brand is coming by or a perfumer, I'm going to invite them over.
Yeah.
It's because it's right downtown.
You should, absolutely. Absolutely. And I will let them know at the Ministry of Scent tomorrow that we did this so they can take a look.
Yeah. And how many fragrances are they going to be selling over there?
So I think every single retailer we pick whatever selection, because we have such a wide collection now. And I think Ministry of Scent is going to have, 11, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Yeah. So they have a really, and all the scents that we just spoke about are going to be available there.
Cool. Yeah. So another brand in San Francisco, you can go to the Ministry of Scent and sample scents of wood now.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's awesome. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching today's video. We're going to do a giveaway. We're doing a giveaway. This little kit here with the bottles. Yes. Let's remove the little strips off of them.
Like this. Let's see. Yes. So with Wood in Calvados, PRALINE Maple, and Wood in Bourbon, which is, so we're looking at Woody Boozy, Woody Gourmand, and Woody Boozy. A good selection of our work, really.
Cool. Yeah, we're doing one giveaway for subscribers of this channel from the USA.
Yep.
Please put down what you liked about this video, and then why you want to win this kit. And then please put down your state. Make sure you're subscribed.
All right, and if you happen to be in Utah and you want to come say hi to to us at the workshop in Park City, just send me a DM and we'll be happy to have you there.
Cool.
Thanks, Sebastian.
Thank you for coming by.
All right.
Guys, thanks so much for watching today's video. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. Good luck with the giveaway. Please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll be back with another video very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.
Bye.